Hello, this is Christy Kalabsky from the training department. Today's video is going to walk you through creating a virtual seller presentation from something that's already created for you and available on Tucker Toolbox. So as you can kind of see from my screen, I am already logged in to tuckertoolbox.com with my credentials. I'm going to go over here to create marketing materials, and the first option there is presentations. That's where we're going to go today. Scrolling just a little bit down on that page, you'll see that there is a Google Slides buyer presentation and a Google Slides seller presentation. Both are wonderful to use if there's a reason you can't get face-to-face with your buyer or seller and you want to do a buyer consult or a listing presentation or a seller consult. These are going to work the exact same way. So for today's purposes, I'm going to focus just on this seller presentation, but basically if you want to create a buyer presentation, it's going to work the exact same way in Google Slides. So first things first, I am going to select seller presentation and open in Google Slides. The system is going to prompt me to make a copy of this presentation and put it in my own Google Drive. And that's exactly what you want to do. You need to make a copy so you can go ahead and start editing it and making it your own. So first things first, I want to move this presentation into the appropriate folder. That could maybe be a resources section that you have in your Google Drive where you put all of your kind of boilerplate marketing materials. For this particular instance, because I'm going to customize this for a seller, I want to actually put that in their folder in my Google Drive. So for me, here's how I sort of organize things, and you might have to do a similar process. I'm going to click on File and Move. Because right now, like I said, it's just in my drive, and that's not super helpful to me because I want to put this in my very specific client folder. So I am going to click on my clients folder and then scroll down to the client that I am currently creating this presentation for and click on Move here. So now this listing presentation that I'm going to start working on has been moved just from my drive to my client's specific folder, and that's exactly what I want to have happen. Okay. So now that I've moved it, I need to rename it. So because I am making this client specific, I'm going to put their name on it. I'm going to get rid of the year, and you can see that it is in their folder. I just did that renaming by clicking up there in that top section. Okay. Now you can see that there is this awesome pre-created seller presentation brought to us by the wonderful marketing department. But now I'm going to start tweaking it and sort of making it my own for the listing appointment that I'm going to do virtually this evening or tomorrow or next week. So first thing I want to do is I need to customize it with my own information. So the way to do that is I need to go to my master slide. So I'm going to click on View and then Master. And you can see here, let me make this just a little bit bigger. You can see here that there is just kind of some dummy data as a footer on all of the presentation pages, and I need to make that my information. So first thing I'm going to do is swap out this photo. I just clicked on it and I'm going to say replace image. I have my headshot on my computer. There it is. So now I've replaced the photo. And then I'm going to type in all of my other information, which I'm not going to go through all of it right now, but you guys get the idea. Just click in the section. You can add your contact information, your team name if you're on one. I don't happen to be, so I'm just going to remove that section. But you can totally make that whatever you need it to be. Okay. So now I'm going to click out of this master section just by clicking back on my first slide. And you can see now that my information is now on all of the slides. So that's exactly what I wanted to have happen. So yay, we're good there. Okay. So now what I can do, now that I've got it customized, is just start going through all of these different presentation pages and determining what I want to keep and what I might want to remove. So you can totally do this however you want. I'm just kind of clicking through. Maybe there's a slide here about relocation that I just don't necessarily want to have. I'm going to right click on it and delete it. and it went bye-bye. And I can keep kind of clicking through and making the determination of any other slides I want to get rid of. And there's a lot of information here, so I would definitely encourage you to go through this and try to kind of tweak it down to, gosh, I think it's 50 some odd pages. Get it down to a number that just feels a little bit better, and you'll sort of know what that is. If you've been on listing presentations before, you kind of know where you start to lose people. So I would keep the important information in there, but take the other stuff out that you just don't think is going to be pertinent. So beyond that, beyond the kind of customization section, you can also add your own information. So in this case, I actually want to add a seller net sheet specific to the property that I'm going to go to this evening. So I just kind of right-clicked over from the slide section, and I want to insert a new slide. And what's nice about doing that is you'll see that this new slide I inserted has my contact information again. It's got all of that same formatting, which is exactly what I want it to have. So the example I'm going to share with you is how to insert a seller net sheet. You could also insert information like comparable properties that you want to highlight, or anything else that you think is pertinent for that particular seller. So in this case, what I'm going to do, I created my blank slide. I am going to go ahead and locate the net sheet on my computer, and I found that here in my download section. Here's my net sheet that I want to include. I'm actually going to do a screen grab. You might have snipping tool on your computer or a different kind of a screen grab option. I'm going to just grab the information from this PDF that I want to include, right-click to copy, and then back in my presentation, I'm going to paste it. So now I can make this a little bit smaller so I can kind of see it better. Now I'm just going to kind of tweak it and make sure that that net sheet kind of looks good on the page. It's centered. It's got all the information I want. So that's how you could include a seller net sheet. Another thing that you could do is you could put like some resume information or an about me section in your listing presentation or seller presentation. I created a new slide again. And what you could do here is insert like a text box and just start typing all of the important information about you, maybe a marketing plan, some stats that you have that you want to share, accomplishments, whatever that may be. So I did that by just inserting a text box. So again, that's pretty much it. Just a quick recap. First thing we did is move our presentation to the appropriate folder and rename it. Then, of course, we went to view and master to make sure that we updated our own information. So everything is customized. The next thing I would encourage you to do is go through all this information, remove the slides that you don't want to share, and then feel free to add slides by just right-clicking and saying new slide. And you can add anything here that you want, comps, net sheets, resume, whatever the case might be. Google's wonderful, so it's auto-saving in the background. So now this listing presentation that I worked on is already in my client folder. I could share this with them via a Zoom call or Google Hangouts. Facebook Video Messenger would be another one too. So just kind of gives you some additional options to share information with buyers and sellers in a virtual format. I hope today's session was helpful for you. If you have any questions, reach out to Tucker Training at talktotucker.com, and thanks for listening.